Well, we got a lot of stuff to cover this month on our monthly recap. This is the Whatever's Biting podcast, and let's introduce ourselves. I'm John. My channel on YouTube is Creek Fishing Adventures.
And I'm Ethan, and my channel is Fish Anything. Welcome back.
Yeah, we are a little late. We try to do this once a month, and even once a month seems to be hard to squeeze it in with all the different things going on. Ethan went on some vacation and family stuff. I've been to Florida, turned around, went to Pennsylvania for the Susquehanna River, and then like ICAST. So we're going to cover a lot. We're going to try to just get into it. I got a new lifer. We're going to talk about a fish that it fits perfectly right into what we talk about, like just different species and things. I got a little show and tell, some shoes. If you're interested in some water shoes, something I was able to get. I just pulled in the drive. Like I just got home like 15 minutes ago from fishing a kayak tournament up in Knoxville, like an hour and a half away. I got here. You ready for this one? So
yeah,
I got that new motor right for the. We talked about this I think last week. I've been so excited about this tournament. I've been looking forward to it. It's on the Holston River. It's a really good river usually for smallmouth. It was one of my last chances to qualify. I got to get top 10 to qualify for state. So if I get top 10, I qualify for state. I put in first throttle down, it shuts off on me. Ooh. And this is like fast current. So I will try to figure out what's going on with the motor and tell you, but it would only work about 40%, which would about maintain the current. So all my plans of running up 4 or 5 miles of this river were shot the first time I got in the water. I was in 2 different tournaments, and I only caught 4 keepers in a 5-fish tournament. Luckily, I still placed 9th, and I qualified for state. So there was 29 people in it. So it was really tough. And I was so limited. I was so aggravated. I'm like, everything I was wanting to do is gone. I still was able to catch 4 fish that were decent and still qualified to get to go on to state. So, you know, things don't always go as planned. I was talking to a guy at church, and his son watches, and he's like, "Oh man, you catch fish every cast, don't you?" I'm like, "Well, that's what you see on the videos. It's a lot harder, and there's a lot of times you don't see." So I'm gonna make a video from this day, even though I barely caught any fish, but that's how it goes sometimes.
Hey, you accomplished the goal. You got 9th. I mean,
yeah,
overcoming adversity. That's what tournament fishing is about, my friend. So I'm happy it made it work despite the mechanical issues or whatever.
Yeah. I appreciate everybody watching. If you're watching or listening on the YouTube on Creek Fishing Adventures, you can also listen to us on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, and iHeartRadio. Wow, we're like big time now. We've been getting people viewing them, so we've been getting a lot of views from those. If there's a platform that you listen to that we're not on, let me know and I'll get that put on there. But I think that's like the main ones. So that's something we just added. If you didn't know, we are on there now. And so Ethan, before we get into, we'll probably go ahead and get right into my lifer I want to talk about.
Sure.
Because it's going to be one of our main topics. But what's been going on with you recently, or how things have been this month?
Well, for the last week, I've been spending a lot of time with family because my brother and his wife, so my sister-in-law, they were in town. So I've been mostly spending time with family. I haven't really been fishing for the last week. However, the week prior to that, I was actually on a family vacation, and it was up north on a lake in Michigan. So it was kind of like 2 birds, 1 stone, right? Like a lot of fun time with the family, a lot of relaxation with the family, but also a fair amount of fishing. So I spent a lot of time on my paddleboard this month and fished a lot of deep, clear water. So I'm really excited to kind of run through some of that. There's going to be like probably 3 videos from that week on the channel.
Good. Yeah.
I have yet to edit any of that, so I have no idea when that's going to happen. But the fishing was really good. You know, on a paddleboard on a large lake, you can only do so much. So I kind of just accepted what I could get. And a lot of that was rock bass, which the way I was fishing was a lot of fun. They don't fight super, super hard, but it was really fun. And then I would find myself the occasional smallmouth bass. And that's where I had a lot of fun, was when I hooked into some of those smallmouth bass, because they just fight so hard, and I was catching them pretty deep water. And it was kind of interesting. And this is what I really want to talk about, just because this podcast is a lot about just different fish species. And I feel like a topic we haven't talked a lot about is just how fish fight. And for you and I, like, having caught tons of different species of fish, usually on lighter gear, a lot of times we have like a good understanding of when something bites, we probably can predict what it is, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny though, the rock bass and the smallmouth were biting in the same areas, but the second I would hook into a smallmouth, 20 plus feet of water, it would surge towards the top. And I'm telling you, when you're sitting in that deep water on a paddleboard, setting the hook on like a drop shot or some soft plastic, and that line just starts coming up, and that within a couple seconds that fish is going to break the surface and jump. It is so exciting. So I had a blast. Like I said, a lot of content in the works, so you can see all this stuff on the channel. But yeah, that was the highlight of my month. I'm looking forward to hearing what this lifer was, though. Like, you've definitely got my attention, my friend.
All right, well, so let's go ahead and get into that. So real quick, I'll recap. I'd love to get in detail, but if you want to watch, I just got back from fishing the Susquehanna River. I got 2 videos I put out. I fished 4 days up there. I saved some of my pre-fishing for winter. I'm going to make those videos in the winter. No less than 20 fish each day. It was like, it's so silly how many smallmouth are in this river if you've never fished the Susquehanna. A lot of current, so I was able to take my Newport motor on the Crescent, on my what was I on? The Bonafide RVR, and run all over the place. And I'll tell you this about that before. It made it so much easier. I couldn't even imagine how much easier it was to get around the river. Now, this is a river that's like a half mile wide and like skinny areas. Huge river. I'm going like side to side, like fishing areas, fishing shoals, fishing little grass islands, zipping around like it's nothing. At the end of the day, I didn't feel like just exhausted and wore out like I usually am, either with a pedal drive or paddling. Like last year I paddled and it was horrible. So after 2 days, I was like, I was mentally like not exhausted, where I could still focus and fish. So day 1, I fished the main river, caught all kinds of fish. I had 89 inches was my limit. You know what place I was in out of 220 people? 44th place with 89 inches.
Dang.
35 people had 90 or more.
Jeez.
So there's like so much quality fish. And then this brings out like all the big guns. Like there's probably 50 people that were in this tournament have fished this river 10 times or more. So like there's a lot of experience. So day 2, I was like, I kind of want to just do something fun. So there's this little creek that we were actually, the Airbnb I was staying with some other guys. It kind of went behind our house. So the ramp was 5 minutes down the road. So day 2, I didn't want to get up real early. I went down there, went up this creek, and caught 2 over 18 in the creek, had 85.5 inches, and it was really fun. It was all to myself. There was nobody else. It's a pretty wide, like shallow creek full of grass. And then on the way back, my Newport motor was messing up. And then today it messed up on me again. So I don't know if the battery is messing up or something. But the Susquehanna River is definitely a bucket list place just to go fish if you're a river person or a smallmouth person. So on the way home, I stopped and I want to hit something else. So a guy sent me a spot like a couple of years ago, like a fan of the channel. He said, "Hey, there's a greenway that there's a creek by it in Virginia." And it was just right off the road on the way home. So like 20 minutes out of the way. So I put it in, I pull in this greenway, never been there, had no idea. I walk up and there's a sign that says single hook only, no lures, or no artificial lures only, no bait. I'm like, okay, obviously a trout stream, or they stock trout. So I think the truck had come the day before. There was so much trout in this creek. I just like hit it at the exact right place, because I talked to some people there and they were like, it's never been this easy to fish here. So the Lord blessed me and was like, hey, you want some more fish? So I pull up, I catch like 5 or 6 brown trout in like 5 minutes. And then I start exploring. and I catch like 4 or 5 fall fish. So fall fish is a little bit what we're going to talk about a little bit. And
Let's do
the
that.
crazy thing was, so I actually caught one in the Susky. I caught one and it jumped out of my hands before I could get a picture.
Okay.
So I got a couple of pictures. The biggest one I caught, I'd say, was 12 inches long. Good 12, maybe 13 inches long. I caught 2 about that size. They kind of hit weird. I was throwing a little Ned rig style like lure, and they would hit it as I was retrieving it. That's when they would hit it. So I don't know. I don't know much about fall fish. I mean, we catch creek chubs around here in certain areas, but these are on another level. It's so cool. So Ethan, have you ever caught fall fish?
I have not. I don't think I've ever been in a waterway that had them. I mean, that's not true. I've probably fished in areas that technically had them, but it's been so minimal. So I've just never really had the chance, I feel like. Hopefully someday though, because they are a cool fish. And if you look at them online, it's literally just like, hey, let's take a creek chub and give it some steroids. Like it's just a bigger creek chub is what it looks like.
If I could send this to you, I'd send it to you. I'm looking right now at a picture. So when I get back, I get an email from Virginia DNR because I have fishing licenses and so many states. So I get all these little emails like updates. And last week, the fall fish Virginia state record was broken.
Excellent.
Would you like to take any guesses on how much this thing weighed?
Oh man!
On June 10th, Danny Arbogast landed this amount of fall fish from Cow Pasture River. I've actually been to Cow Pasture River, which is funny.
What a cool river name, Cow Pasture River.
It's like a fast flowing like river too. Like
that just sounds like something you need to throw a mule jig in.
Yeah. That's good.
Man, I have no idea.
I'll let you know how long it was. It was 20 3/4 inches long.
Okay, well, I was gonna guess in like the upper 3 and early 4 pound range. So I'm gonna go 4 pounds 2 ounces.
Close, yeah. 3 pounds 12 ounces.
Okay, very nice. Man, yeah, that is insane. That is it's gotta be an ugly fish.
It's so weird looking. It looks like you're holding a grass carp. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. As I say, it's almost like
the previous record was 3 pounds 9 ounces out of the same river in 2022. So I don't know what that river is doing, but it's producing some giant fall fish.
It's all that manure in the water because it's cow pasture and it's got all that nutrients. It's producing.
This is in the because I've been there. It's up in the Blue Ridge area, and it's just like a mountain stream. Like I don't know why it would get so big in there. You'd think they would, but anyhow, there's a picture of it. If you look
competition.
If you look it up, it's pretty cool.
Is there very many other sport fish in there?
There's muskie and smallmouth, but I don't think there's that many. I think it's pretty sparse on like how much fish. Because I've only done it one time, so I don't really know. But we didn't catch much the day we did it. But the water was really high, and we were kayaking. I had a muskie break me off. I remember that. Anyhow, that's crazy. But like, so I got that's so funny because it's like I've been wanting to get a fall fish for years, and I've fished a couple places where they're at. Oh, I gotta sneeze.
Oh, don't you sneeze. You better mute yourself if you get a sneeze. The listeners at home do not need to listen to John sneeze.
I was ready to mute it, and then it went away.
There's nothing worse than the feeling. Let's sidebar that real quick. There's nothing worse than the feeling of feeling like you're going to sneeze and then it goes away. I mean, come on. That is like it stinks. It's the worst. It's like you want that sneeze to get on with your day, and it's gone. It's disappeared.
Okay. Anyhow, if you caught fall fish, you can leave us a comment. Tell us the biggest fall fish. Have you ever even weighed a fall fish? I mean, who most people probably catch them and they're like, yeah, I'm not weighing that. I don't know. But if you catch something 3 pounds, 12 ounces, that's still pretty cool. Anyhow, that's kind of funny how all that worked out. Where I caught my first one, then I get this article same week. And but yeah, they're obviously, if you don't know what fall fish is, it's the biggest chub in the chub family, and I think they're in North Carolina, but they're basically north. I guess I wonder if they're in Tennessee, because where I caught mine wasn't far from Tennessee, but I don't know of any rivers in Tennessee that have them.
If you Google fall fish native range, usually there's a website. I forget what it is, but it usually shows the native range. It'll be like orange for the native range and then like red colored for the introduced range, if I remember correctly.
It's probably more. It's all northeast area. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
well.
It's mostly northeast. I think.
I figured it'd be up your way, but I didn't. I guess they're not.
No, I don't think there's any here. Let me look real quick. Oh, I'm not finding the map, but from what I see, according to roughfish.com, which roughfish.com, this is like a life lister dude, and he's pretty good website.
Oh yeah.
It does look like it's Virginia and up, and it just hugs the northeast. From what I'm seeing, I might be reading that wrong, but I think that's what I see there. Yeah, interesting. I definitely need to catch a fall fish someday. It's definitely a fish that has got my interest many years ago, and I've never been out that way enough. I mean, I fished in New York, and I don't know that I ever fished water that would have been conducive to fall fish. But next time I visit my brother-in-law and my sister out in New York, I'll have to see if I can make that a mission. Right? I got to go get the fall fish. Maybe make a series about it.
The fall fish mission.
Nobody makes content about fall fish. Ooh. This seems like something I need to be doing.
Quest for a 20-inch fall fish.
It goes back to the rock bass
smallmouth. Yeah.
It goes back to the rock bass thing. I was like out there on my paddleboard catching rock bass. I'm just saying to the camera, I'm just like, there's not a lot of people out there that are just going to make a video and like fully appreciate rock bass. Yeah. I am the man for this job. Like, this is me. This is my calling. I am here to catch the rock bass and show them to the internet. And now fall fish seems like the next logical answer.
That reminds me of, like, I think somebody commented one time, because I was fishing Little Creek and I did an underwater release of a creek chub. And I think somebody was like no one's ever done an underwater release of a creek chub. I was like,
that's why we're here, folks. If there is a fish that you feel is underappreciated, specifically if it's native, because I'm here for the natives, you got to let us know. If we can go catch them and show them to the internet, I'm all about it. And you know, if it's not native, I'm still interested too, because at the end of the day, it's fish anything. I want to catch them all. So
that would be a good topic. What are underrated fish? What are fish that you think are underrated? Mm-hmm. Like no one talks about. And sometimes it's in your area. Like we have these in our area. Over here they have these. You know, that's interesting, because there's lots of different fish out there that get overlooked for sure. But let's move on. Let's go ahead and so I did go to ICAST, and I'll show you these shoes. But I one day during ICAST, so me and Cole and Jay were there. I met up with them for a couple days, and they have a YouTube channel where they catch all kinds of fish. But we made a trip. We drove 3 hours to go to like South Florida to fish for 3 hours, and then drove straight back.
Good for you.
Exhausting. But they're kind of like crazy like that. They're like, let's just do it. Like, all right, let's go. And I caught a really nice peacock bass.
Very cool. Jealous.
And it was beautiful. It was one of the most beautiful peacock bass. We didn't catch a lot. Like, we were there really quick and we had to run real back. But it was just another one thing. Like, I had to go down there and see what we can catch real fast. But let me show you this shoe. So I went to ICAST. They have all kinds of. What's my volume sound weird now? They have all kinds of vendors and everybody in the fishing industry. And so I stopped by Columbia booth, and obviously Columbia has like outdoor gear and fishing. Well, not fishing shoes, but I guess fishing shoes, water shoes.
Yeah, it's kind of fishing performance wear, right?
Oh yeah, I guess it's performance fishing gear.
Yeah. PFG.
Yeah. So they've made a shoe that I've bought off Amazon like 2 or 3 times. It's $55. So I just stopped by and I started talking to them. Well, they signed me up and they sent me this shoe right here. So this looks like a tennis shoe, if you can see it.
Yeah.
It looks like a very comfortable tennis shoe, and it is. It's a Ortholite Eco LT and Omni Shield. I'm not sure what the shoe exactly is called. Maybe it's called the Ortholite Eco LT, but they're water shoes that are made for like to feel like a tennis shoe, which is very. I was like, that's awesome, because most people, when they make water shoes, make them durable, flat, really hard, and you just don't like walking in them. I've waded in these 2 or 3 times, and I've kayaked in them. But what these are really made for is like boating and stuff, where you're standing and on your feet. I've been wearing them like tennis shoes. So I will try to leave a link, but they're like $99, I believe, right around the $100 range. Anyhow, I had to mention that because people ask all the time about shoes, and they've been holding up pretty good so far.
Those look great, and I feel like there's more shoes now. Like I'm starting to see more like advertised on the internet. I know Rocky Boot came out with one. I think Cross Kicks is something
I talked to Cross Kicks also. Yes.
Yeah, those guys have been the aggressively average anglers have been wearing those, and I'm seeing a lot more. And like I'm so interested in this topic, so continue to let me know how those perform, and then if you see others. So it's funny though. I'm pretty sure it was you and I when we were wading that river here. I sliced my foot open, or that was with you, right? When I sliced my foot open.
I remember. Yes, I remember that.
Those shoes would have been handy because I stepped on like a muscle or something.
Yeah.
And I had like, that was a bad cut.
Yeah.
It was all, unfortunately, it didn't get infected or anything. I cleaned it and, but it is important to take care of your feet when you're doing this kind of wade fishing, because you never really know when you might cut it on something, or, you've got fishing hooks too. You could potentially hook your toe. So either way, it's kind of funny that you're over here showcasing a shoe when a couple of years ago when we fished together, I had literally sliced my foot open. So it's just everything comes full circle, I suppose. Now I need some free shoes. Who's going to hook me up with some free shoes?
I was hoping they would like do more, but I don't know if anything else is going to come out of it.
Maybe they can sponsor this. They can sponsor this show, right? Cross Kicks. Do you want to? Columbia?
Yeah, which one? Columbia Fishing or Cross Kicks? First one. Hey, we'll take the first one that comes. But no, so I do have a pair of Cross Kicks, and they're very comfortable. They're made differently. Like, and that's the thing. I have probably more pairs of water shoes than anybody. I literally
that does not surprise me at all.
Yeah, and because I this is something I'm very interested in, and if you spend as much time in the water as I do, you're like, all right, I got to figure this out, and I'm still like trying things all the time because I get asked all the time. But like kayaking, I kayak so many rivers where I have to get out and walk, and like you're right, even if some rivers have sharp rocks, some are gravelly, some are different, and like if you just have to jump out of your kayak real quick, pull your kayak through a shoal or over some rocks, and then you jump back in your kayak, and the shoes drain out really fast. They're lightweight. It's very, very useful. So maybe we'll cover more. I could probably do a whole episode on shoes, water shoes.
That would be probably extremely boring for some people and extremely interesting for others. So we'll see if maybe episode 200 we'll do. It'll be all about feet. So
when we get a shoe sponsor, we'll have that person on, and we're
gonna do the foot episode soon. Just stay tuned. Okay, hey, I tell you what. You had mentioned a couple times to comment, reach out for various things.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have some comments on this round that you wanted to pick, or are we there yet? Am I jumping the gun?
I do have comments. Do you want me to do mine first, or you want to do yours?
You do the comments, and then I'm going to do an email that we got.
Oh, we got emails. Okay. All right. Here's a quick one. Robert NF5 up. That's awesome. Ethan, you make the best soft baits around. I like it.
Thanks.
That's all it is. Boom. Straight to the facts.
Wow. Well, thanks for picking that one, John. That was nice of you. Appreciate that.
Ray Gissendanner.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Oh, you know him?
I don't know I know because every time I read that name, I'm like, how do you say it?
Congratulations on your new airing on Spotify. Great podcast, guys. Is there a real difference in mono versus? He says he's felt floral, but I imagine he means fluoro, not floral like flossing or something. Yeah. So is there a real difference between monofilament versus fluoropilament line?
So I am not I don't know like the scientific answers for this stuff. Here's what I do know from a fishing standpoint. I know my experience with lines and I know what they do. So mono is very high stretch. So if you go to set the hook, there's going to be some stretch. It's going to have some give. Now, what that does is it makes it quite abrasion resistant. So it's a great line for a lot of applications. Specifically, I'd say light line applications. It's good for like ultralight fishing and whatnot. I think it's a little bit more forgiving. Fluorocarbon, on the other hand, has very little stretch. And in my experience, I find that it is a lot more brittle for some of the light line varieties. So once you get sub 6 pound test, 2-4 pound test, those are pretty brittle, and they're going to probably snap a little bit easier than like a mono, because again, mono is going to have more of that forgiveness from the stretch. But for me, my personal use with fluorocarbon versus mono is for bass fishing applications and some of those larger line diameters. I'm pretty much exclusively fluorocarbon. It's a sinking line. It has very, very low stretch. So it's just going to give you more sensitivity. It's going to be better for a lot of applications, moving baits, slow moving baits. Outside of topwater, there's pretty much nothing that I wouldn't fish on fluorocarbon for bass fishing. But like I said, when it comes to ultralight applications, I would personally choose monofilament first. I just feel like it casts a little bit, well, they cast pretty similar, but it's just a little bit more forgiving. And that just makes a huge difference. Now, I'm going to add one just to make this a little bit more complicated. I find that copolymer is just a really, really great line variety for the light line anglers. It's going to have a little bit of the in-between between monofilament and fluorocarbon. It's still going to maintain that forgiveness of a monofilament. But I feel like I've had just such good success with copolymer. So if you're specifically looking for light line varieties, I would kind of look into the copolymers of the world, unless you're open to braid, in which case braid is the best. That was a long answer there. I think I've been thinking about line a lot lately, if it doesn't show. What about you, John?
If you look at Ethan's channel, it's like, I tried this line. It's like, I mean, yes, there is definitely a difference. Now, as far as catching fish, I mean, I don't know. Like, if you're thinking, if people, because I hear this all the time, I had to downsize to 4-pound fluorocarbon to catch these fish. I mean, I'm sure there's situations like that, but if I'm going out, if I'm using light line, like 2, 4, I can't really tell any difference as far as fishing and fishing small lures. I fish super clear water all the time. I use fluoro and mono. I've never seen a difference in bite. Supposedly, fish can't see fluorocarbon. That's a big thing. And
it's lower diameter.
Mono, but the thing is, does a fish know what fishing line is? If you look at some people's lures, they have hooks that are 3 inches long coming off. Like, well, how about that hook? You're worried about your line, but you got a giant hook coming out. They don't see that. There's a give and take for everything. I use, when I'm bass fishing. Oh, good segue.
There you go.
Into my show and tell. Might as well show it here.
Ooh.
So I broke a rod. And
oh yeah, you broke like your favorite rod, didn't you?
So I bought this. I bought a 13 fishing. I forgot the Envy, I believe it is. I got it for $100 on sale, and it was a 6'9" medium fast spinning rod, and it felt so good. It's so light, very sensitive, and that's my favorite size for like wading, for bass fishing, kayaking, my Hellgrammites, yum dingers, just multi-purpose stuff like that. And I use 10 or 15-pound braid. Just, I have both. It doesn't matter. One or the other. And I use 10-pound fluorocarbon leader line, about 8 to 10 feet of it. And I use it predominantly for abrasion resistance. And if it does help that the fish can't see it, I'll just take it. It's not like a make or break, and I usually like using a pretty good, red label is probably the cheapest I like to use. But this one here is I can't think of the name. I'll think of the name here in a minute. But it's just a good strong line for my leader line, because if you use straight braid, you can catch fish. I've caught tons of fish straight braid, finesse fishing. But if a fish takes you over a rock, it cuts really quick. So I like to have some leader line, and that 10-pound line, and maybe even oversized for a lot of the fish I catch. But as soon as you get a nick in smaller line, it cuts real quick. 10-pound holds up pretty good.
Yeah.
So I picked up a new rod. This is a Fenwick Elite. It's $229 rod.
Woo, but man, fancy boy.
Does it feel good? I picked it up and I was like, oh, I have to buy this. That's a bad problem when I go to like my local tackle store. Just like when you get something in your hand You can see it online. You're like, nah, I don't want that. You get it in your hand. You're like, oh, I need this. So this rod. So I've always liked Fenwick. Like the way they make their stuff. It always feels good. They don't have too long of a handle. I don't like a real long handle on my spinning rods. And they finally came out with a 610. Now they hadn't. I don't think they've had that size. So this is a 610 medium fast, and it feels more almost extra fast. But I've waited and I've fished in a kayak. I've probably used this rod for a couple weeks now, and I've caught a lot of fish on it. I'm really liking it. So I love the handle design.
Yeah, it looks cool. It looks really cool.
It looks good. It feels amazing. If you want to spend $200 and something dollars, which I have that rod, I'll be like my rod I use majority of the time. That rod will be in my hands so much that it's worth it to me. But that's and some people don't mind. I mean, if you don't mind spending that much money, that is a great rod. It's not too long. It's not like getting in your way. It's not too short. It's just a good size for all around multi-purpose bass fishing mainly.
Oh, I agree. I think that the 6'10" range, honestly, for both casting and spinning, I just think it's a really good length. I mean, like you said, kayak fishing, wading, there's something about it. That 7-foot length is obviously 2 inches doesn't seem like a lot, but it does make a difference for sure. I mean, when you're talking about the length of a rod, that's a pretty sizable amount of length for the performance. So I agree. It looks like a cool toy. And I think it's just kind of funny though, that you broke $100 rod and you replaced it with a $220 rod. That's fishing in a nutshell.
Well, the $100 rod was actually like a $300 rod, like price range. Like I got it on a really good sale, and there may be a reason I got it on sale. But like when you pick up, if say you go to the store, you pick up a $100 rod, like that feels good. You go to a $200 rod, you can, even if it's like 2 ounces difference, you can feel it so well in your, like you can feel that 2 ounces. I got one more question, and we'll get to what you got, Ethan. So
sure.
Andy Larson 9155 says, "Hi there, I'm from Ohio. I just spent several hours fishing a river near Toledo, and I caught nothing. I tried a bunch of different lures, no bites. Have you ever gone on a long day fishing and caught nothing? And what do you do when you end the day of fishing with no catches? Thanks for your advice." Thanks, Andy.
Well,
so have you ever gone a long day and caught nothing?
Oh my gosh. The amount of times I've gone a long day and caught nothing. I have no idea what the number is, but I've done that a lot of times. That is part of fishing, and it's not a fun part of fishing. At the time you feel defeated, right? But I can tell you, and then you're maybe going to think I'm crazy here. I can tell you're going to be thankful for that trip. That is, to me, what makes fishing so enjoyable is like the pursuit and the failures, because when you do start to figure things out, whether it's that river or another one, and things start to click, and you start to notice that difference in like your ability to find and locate, find, catch fish. Those are those moments that I feel like it doesn't feel fun at the time, but it's like all part of the journey. And so I don't know, I'm just going to talk about that a little bit, just because I feel like in today's age, there's just so many fishermen out there going to Facebook and going to groups and saying, "Hey, where do I catch fish? Where do I catch fish? Hey, is this spot good?" You got to get out there and explore. That is what 90% of fishing is exploring and trying new places. So props to you for sticking to it, going out there and busting your butt trying to catch fish. Sorry it didn't work out, but I can promise you I've had 1,000 trips like that. And I don't really know what I do. I guess I just kind of regroup and I game plan for the next one. Maybe I lick my wounds a little bit. I don't know.
It's almost like you can't. You're like, you know what? And that just didn't happen. That didn't happen. It didn't work out. I can't take nothing from this. I'm just going to go again when I get another chance. And everything that happened today, I'm just going to wash away. Maybe try to fish in different areas. Yeah, I mean, it just happens, and you can't learn unless you go out and do it. And me and you fish all the time, and we can. There's so much that we've learned from fishing so much that we're probably not going to have as many days like that. But I can guarantee you, I had a ton, especially several years ago when I really didn't know near as much. And I'll still have days where I can barely catch a fish, maybe one or two.
And when I go places that are new to me, like there's still a chance I go skunk, right? Like But that's where it's like I would say like go away from, don't go to that same spot again the same time of year, but don't be afraid to go back like in a different season, right?
Mhm.
If you go back to that stretch in 2 months, the fish will be in a different stage, and they like, you might determine that wow, this is actually a really good spot, right? Like that's the funny thing about fishing is you can't count something out after one trip, even if it is the worst day of fishing ever. So I would encourage you to still give it a chance, but I would say, you're probably not excited to go back there right now. So give it some time. Give it some time to change, because it will change.
Yeah, I say picking a new place is really good for a while because I have places by me that are absolutely loaded. Some of my best fishing places. But if I hit it, maybe like recently, it's been really hot and dry and low,
Mhm.
and I'll hit those places, and I'm like, are the fish even in here? Like I know they're
Correct.
there, but it can be, it can, I could, if that was my first time going there, I'd be like, this is a horrible place to fish. I'm never coming back here. So you never know. But
Yeah.
I just this makes me think of a game I had. So I had a basket. This is, I like to relate things to basketball, but I had a basketball game. I had 29 points. I thought I was awesome. I was in 10th grade. I was like, we killed this team. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing good. This is my first year at the school. The next game, I had 2 points. I was missing point blank layups and shots, and I am so frustrated. But I'm like, I am not stopping. I won't do that again. Like I'm coming back and trying that again. So it doesn't make me want to quit basketball. If this doesn't make you want to quit fishing, then you're fine. Because
That's
if
it.
this is like I didn't catch anything, I'm not ever going fishing again. If this is like I didn't catch anything, but I want to know why, then you'll be fine. You'll figure it out. You'll get out there and you'll be catching stuff before you know it.
Yeah. I tell you what, that was probably one of my favorite questions yet. I really, really appreciated that question, because I think you saw a lot of passion in both of us answering it, because it is, people that have spent a lot of time fishing. It's like, it's important that, and we obviously like to share the sport of fishing with people. So I appreciate you asking that question. And just a little bit of a plug. Make sure to drop comments below in this YouTube or on the Spotify or whatever. However, you can drop a comment. Ask a question. We will pick random ones in every episode. Is it okay if I go to that email now, Mr. John?
That's the ones I got. We had quite a few comments, but that's the ones that I was able to pick. And I will we'll try to pick 2 or 3 or 4 each month. So Ethan, what you got next?
Yeah, so I got an email. Actually, we both got an email from Michael. He is out east. I'm not going to go into all the details here, but I just thought it was such a nice email. And I'm like, I read it, I looked at the pictures he sent, and I just felt like I wanted to share this because it was just really nice. It was really refreshing to me. I'm not going to read the whole email, but I'm just going to basically say, it says, "Hi, John and Ethan. I'm a big fan of both your channels. You two were both instrumental in getting me on my fishing journey. I grew up in New York City, and I literally don't know very many people that fish, um, let alone freshwater fishing, because most people like the ocean. Everything I've learned is basically from YouTube. And when I started fishing, I figured I would start out small. So Ethan's channel has helped give a lot of information about ultralight tackle. John's channel also really helped inspire me to get out and go fishing in any place I can find, even tiny roadside creeks." And that's what I'm going to share there. There's more in there, and it's a wonderful email. It was really, really nice of him to share that. But I just thought that was so cool. I mean, it definitely validates this, right, John? It's like we do
Yeah.
these things, and I feel like we get a lot of nice comments, and we certainly appreciate those things. But the fact that he took the time to send that email and share his personal experience, it really does mean a lot. So congratulations on some of those fish that you sent pictures of, and thank you so very much for sharing. I had to share that.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. Those couple of those pictures really make me want to go catch those fish because it's like every time I see something new, I'm like, dude, that looks cool. I want to catch it. Whatever it
It
is, I want to go
does.
catch it, even if it's in another country. So, yeah, that was really neat. And feel free. We're both on Instagram and Facebook. Tag us in your photos, what you caught. I
Yes.
love it. It cracks me up, and I love it every time. And I just had a buddy, Joshua, we just went fishing with. He sends me a message. He goes, "Caught my new PB, 19-inch largemouth on the Bubba Lemon Swirl Yum Dinger." I was like, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So it was whenever you like influence somebody to use the lure and it works for them, that it just makes me laugh. It's always really fun.
That's
And
epic.
Ethan gets. What is it like for you? You make lures. When you see people catching lures, like or catching fish with your lures, what do you
Yeah.
think when you see that?
Man, it is so cool. I mean, obviously, I'm a believer in the mule stuff. I wouldn't have made it otherwise, but I'm a believer also because I mean, I spend most of my time fishing with it. Like, I don't fish with a lot of other stuff anymore. And it's because I just really like what I've made. But so it's really, I always know it works. Like, I'm confident in it because I personally have success with it. But when I see other people doing that same thing, it takes it to another level. And it was kind of funny. My uncle-in-law, I don't know, my 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 parent-in-law's brother, so my mother-in-law's brother, so my uncle-in-law, I don't know if that's even a word. He is a fisherman and he uses some of my stuff, and he's visiting right now, and he just came up and he told me, he's like, yeah, I caught a 40-inch muskie on your doggy tail junior. And he's like, doesn't he is not like a tech guy, so he's not gonna sit there and take pictures of everything. I'm like,
Yeah,
man, you got to take a picture of that fish. I'm like, can I see this? Like, that's so cool. He's like, yeah, he's just not into that, which is totally fine. But yeah, I've seen peacock bass and all sorts of random fish on the stuff that I would never catch personally because I just don't get the opportunity to go do those things. So I can kind of like live through other anglers using my stuff, which is kind of neat. Seeing all these random fish species that they're catching, it's really neat in different countries. People have caught fish in Japan, Australia, Sweden, all sorts of random places. So it's epic, I guess, is to wrap that all up. John, what else do we have here? We're at 40-ish minutes here.
yeah, we're winding
I know
down.
you got some stuff.
Do what?
I know you got something else, don't you? I think you had something else you want to talk about. Am I missing
Well, I
anything?
mean, the Olympics happened. Did you watch the Olympics? I actually got to go back and watch, and I've only watched basketball. So the Serbia USA basketball
Gold.
game was insane. That was just a good basketball game all around. And the France game just happened today. I haven't had time to watch it. I'm gonna go back and watch it.
But
But
you know what
I don't
happened, right?
really.
Because I just said gold.
Yeah, yeah, I know what happened. I saw it on
Okay.
Instagram on the way home. But I still like to go back and watch it and I know you can say what you want about all the different players. I just really enjoyed high level basketball,
I'll tell
and
you what.
it's exciting for me. Somebody asked. Actually, one of the comments was, or I saw it. I didn't. I just saw it when I was glancing. Was talking about different professional bass fishermen. It was like I think maybe like who would you like to fish with? I'm like I know no professional bass fishermen really. I keep up with none of that as far as in the bass fishing world. I keep up with YouTubers and stuff, but professional basketball, I follow that really, really hard. And I didn't watch much other. Do you watch any other things on the Olympics? Are you like into any kind of?
I never. I always probably watch a little bit. I probably watch more Olympics this year than any of the other recent ones, and I don't know why. I guess it was just I've been spending so much time with family, so it's kind of something to do.
Yeah.
But there was some exciting stuff. I will say my favorite thing that I watched was the men's 1500 meter run. So like basically whatever, a mile basically. Um, dude got gold. So they hyped it up so much because there was this guy from Norway and a guy from Great Britain, and they were like trash talking each other, and they're like, they think they're the best, right? And our guy from America just has this unbelievable kick at the end and just rocks it.
Oh,
And he comes out with gold. It was an electric race to run, or a race to watch. I can't say I ever watch running, but in this case, I'm like, man, that was so exciting. I literally got up and fist pumped. I don't even know why I was that excited, but I was like, so good for him. I
yeah,
think his name's Cole Hawker, I want to say. So shout out to Cole Hawker. This one's for you.
yeah, yeah. I've watched a little bit of volleyball, men's and women's, um, and basketball, and I don't know. I don't. I mean, I don't. I really can't get into a lot of other ones. It's like
Dude, breakdancing, why is that a thing? Can we not do
what?
that? Breakdancing was
Oh,
in the Olympics?
somehow I watched
I'm
that on
sorry. Like,
Instagram. I'm
no.
like, this can't be real.
Get that
Anyhow,
out of here. If
there, did,
fishing's not in it, we do not need breakdancing. Like,
yeah. Did you know there's like kayak fishing world championships and stuff?
I
I
have no
have
idea.
friends. I know guys that were in it, and it's
What?
like Hobie. Hobie does it, and like They did it in
Oh,
Canada recently. It was like a couple weeks ago
I think so
or
didn't
a
they
couple months
I
ago.
think they do that. So I think they had one in like Sweden
Yeah,
for
this is
like
like the third.
perch,
They've just
right?
been doing it recently. I think Hobie like puts it on. I guess.
That's honestly super cool, but I think worldwide competition for fishing is just a very difficult thing to execute because of just the regional dynamics with fishing and species,
And they
relevant.
just like they'll just pick like 2 or 3 species. It's like you catch 2 or 3 species at the
It's
same
odd.
time. So I've thought about like trying to go for it because I mean it's possible. You just have to go to these events and qualify. That would be
Hmm.
something really pretty cool though. What if I
It
like
would
went
I
to
would
some
feel like I'm
country?
more yeah, you and I like actually that we should be interested in that because of the fact that it is more multi-species. Like it's not just bass, right? Like it's more than just that. So
I know
I'll
last
have
year
to
they
do more
had
research. That's interesting.
they had yellow perch, pike, and something else, or
Hmm.
maybe it was them two. But it was really cool because like the perch they were catching, you were just like they were like catching them on like 3-inch swim baits. Like
Yeah,
so,
was
it wasn't
that
yellow
so
perch, it was perch, I guess.
yeah,
European perch.
that was like the Sweden one. Yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
it's basically bass fishing. Like they use
Yeah.
like bigger gear and they catch behemoth perch. Like they're huge. I would love to go to Europe and catch those perch that are like the size of a football. Those things are
Have you ever
incredible.
have you ever watched them fish for like those 6, it's like 5 or 6 pounders where they fish like all day for like 1 or 2 bites sometimes? Like I've seen videos where
Sounds
there's tons, but I've seen some of these guys, they go out and that's where I'm thinking, well, we have so many different species to go for. Some of these places they
yeah.
go, they don't have like hardly anything. You fish all day for like a carp or a perch or something.
Yeah, and I
But
think there's a lot of pressure and stuff. So, yeah, Europe has a different game over there. That's where it's like there's never probably going to be the fishing Olympics, but um yeah, we kind of have the fact that we have so many sunfish and panfish in America. It's a blessing. It is a blessing, and I don't think enough people appreciate it over here, but I think there's a lot of people outside of the United States that would love to have it. So,
I do see that. A lot of people overlook them, but I do see comments every once in a while from other countries like, "Man, you got so much
correct.
stuff to catch." Like that creek I did where I caught the fall fish. I caught like 4 fall fish and like 7 rock bass, and that's what 11 fish. That most creeks don't even have those species, so that's 11 more catches that for creeks that have those kind of fish that will just hit regular lures. But yeah, so Ethan, I think that's about it. Unless you got anything to add here at the end, you've been listening to the Whatever's Biting podcast. You can find us on all your podcast platforms. Anything got to say at the end?
No, wait. We have one more thing. We have 20 seconds. Okay, this fire drill. What do you want to do this month?
I know what is our goals for this. I was just thinking that a second ago, and I'm like, I don't know what to write down.
Well, you
I
got to
need a
come up with
goal.
something. You got 10 seconds. Go. What first thing that comes
I
to mind?
am. I don't know. I got like
Okay,
so
I'll
many
go
kayak
first.
tournaments coming up.
I'll go first, and then you think about something here, buddy. We can't leave without telling the people what we're gonna do this month. My main goal is to get back out on my kayak. I've been spending a lot of time on my paddleboard. I would like to get some full fishing days in on my kayak. I really don't feel like I've had like a full fishing day all year, to be honest. Like it's been a lot of small fishing trips here and there. I need to get out on the wilderness systems and get more acquainted with it and fish hard. So that's what I want to do. Probably multi-species, maybe some bass. We'll see.
I'm looking to buy another truck.
Oh, geez. Okay, that sounds great. I look forward to in a month hearing what that is.
Exactly. I'll tell you the whole process, what happened.
All
Hey,
right.
I appreciate everybody watching. We're going to sign off. And if you got any comments or questions, send them to us.